Good evening to you. This is an English edition of Dalsan TV. My name is Abdulrazak Ali. Let's have a look at what we have for you. Somalia's elite forces deny any of their soldiers were involved in Las Anod conflict. Flash flood kills 20 in Gedo region. Standoff between Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah and Somali Ministry of Religion over Hajj bidding process. Welcome back once again. My name is Abdulrazak Ali. The spokesperson for Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah has announced that the body has cut ties with the Ministry of Religion and Endowment of Somalia. This unfolds as fortnights ago, Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre assured that his government would transparently manage and monitor the companies delivering Hajj services. Spokesman for Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah Sheikh Abdul Qadir Somo announced that the body has cut ties with the Ministry of Religions and Endowment of Somalia. This unfolds as fortnights ago, Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre assured that his government would transparently manage and monitor the companies delivering Hajj services. The spokesman accused the Federal Ministry of Religions of mismanaging the competition for Hajj administration this year in an interview with the Somali press. He asserted that there was favorism in the bidding process. The frontman also voiced that Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah would not resume cooperation with the ministry until the Prime Minister, Mukhtar Robo, and Director of the ministry are removed from their positions for their alleged injustice at the ministry. This allegation from the Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah spokesperson coincides with the Ministries of Religion's announcement that the companies that pass the first round of the competition will be interviewed to determine which companies will serve Somali pilgrims this year. It is worth noting that every year during Hajj, conflicts arise as a result of competition between companies seeking to serve Somali pilgrims. Chief Minister Hamza Abdi Barre had earlier on expressed his frustrations at the high cost of Hajj for Somali pilgrims compared to the rest of Africa. Now, Somalia's US-trained forces, known as Danab, have denied reports that some of its soldiers were killed in a conflict between locals and Somaliland forces in Las Anod town in northern Somalia.
The United States-trained Danab Special Forces head Brigadier Ahmed Noor Beryare has denied that his forces were involved in Las Anod fighting that has claimed over 200 lives. Brigadier Beryare said on the Danab official Twitter page that one of the fighters who was recently killed in Las Anod was no longer working for Danab and that he had left the force. It is necessary to clarify that the individual referred to in recent reports, Mohammed Suleiman, was a former officer within the Somali National Army Danab who left in 2021 for personal reasons, Brigadier Beryare said. He added that Suleiman was not involved in any official capacity with the Danab unit of the Somali National Army at the time of his unfortunate demise in the ongoing fight in Las Anod. The Danab head also noted Danab will remain fully committed to this objective and will not engage in any clan conflicts or clan-related affairs. He was responding to various media reports that Danab was involved in the fighting, reinforcing earlier claims by Somaliland government that the federal government and Puntland had deployed troops to fight in Las Anod. Danab is a special force within the Somali National Army, which has been trained and supported by the United States government. Danab is a special force within the Somali National Army, which has been trained and supported by the United States government to liberate areas occupied by the Al-Shabaab militants.
Now, people have perished with thousands displaced and property worth thousands destroyed due to flash floods caused by heavy rains in southern Somalia. The United Nations Humanitarian Agency has said the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, OCHA, said lives were lost in Bardere district, Gedo region, which has experienced the heaviest rainfall in recent days. At least 20 people have been killed in flash floods in Bardere district in Gedo region as heavy rains pound the region after a long dry spell. For decades, Somalia has been beset by illegal logging, deforestation and land degradation. These problems, worsened by overgrazing, conflict and climate change, have made many areas prone to devastating flash floods caused by heavy rainfall that leads to a sudden increase in river flow followed by a quick recession. The United Nations Humanitarian Agency Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs (OCHA) said that over 10 people were killed and 9 others were swept away by floods as they tried to cross a stream. Bardere, Wanlawein, Luq, and Dolow districts in Gedo region are most affected. The United Nations Humanitarian Agency stated that about 8,000 people in 2 IDP camps have been affected by the floods, noting several houses and latrines were destroyed. OCHA said the increased rains in the Ethiopian highlands could result in the Juba River breaking its banks, particularly in Bardere Buale, Sako and Jilib, which could lead to flash floods and displacement. Other cases of displacement and property destruction have been reported in Baidoa, Southwest State, and Alam Burtine District, Nugal Region, Puntland. Now, Somalia's President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud led regime forces considerable challenges in maintaining law and order throughout the nation, as stated in the U.S. State Department's 2022 Somalia report on human rights practices. Abdirahman Yusuf has more.
Somalia's President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud-led regime faces considerable challenges in maintaining law and order throughout the nation. According to the report, militant Al-Shabaab still control large swathes of land, and their presence still felt even in liberated areas. The government also faces accusations of numerous human rights abuses, including unlawful killings, torture, and arbitrary arrest. Upper house of the federal parliament were elected in March 2022. Despite widespread perceptions of corruption in parliamentary electoral process, both houses of parliament chose President Mohamud in what was deemed a fair and transparent process. However, the report emphasizes that citizens face significant barriers to political participation and their ability to peacefully change their government through free and fair elections. The fragile Horn of Africa nation has not held one person, one vote election in more than 50 years. Extrajudicial killings, dire and life-threatening prison conditions, enforced disappearances, or abductions and grave abuses in conflict situations were all documented as credible accounts. To add on to that, severe restrictions on free expression in media continue, including violence or threats of violence against journalists, censorship, and the enforcement of criminal libel laws. Despite the government's efforts to prosecute and penalize officials who commit abuses, particularly military and police personnel, impunity persists. Conflicts involving the government, militias, Al-Shabaab have resulted in civilian deaths, injuries, and displacement according to the report. The report also details grave human rights violations committed by government security forces, such as torture and cruel, inhuman or degrading treatment or punishment. Government authorities did not always maintain effective control over these security forces. Moreover, federal and state security force members reportedly committed numerous abuses.
Thank you so much for watching Dalsan TV. My name is Abdulrazak Ali. Have a lovely evening.